Good morning, students.
Good morning, Mom.
It's okay. Before we start our lesson for today, I am going to lead a prayer. The Father, the Son, and the Spirit. Lord God, thank you for all the blessings that you have given to us. Thank you for guiding us, directing us, and leading us. Lord God, help us to live our life today and only for you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. You may sit down now.
Thank you.
So before we start our discussion for today, may I call on Miss Idoria to discuss what our lesson last meeting.
Our topic last meeting is all about good conductors of heat and electricity.
Okay, thank you. So okay, I am going to present the PowerPoint. Oh my God. So our topic for today is weathering and soil erosion. So any idea about weathering? Okay.
The idea about weathering is all about climate change.
Okay, thank you for that idea, Miss Ina. So what is weathering? So weathering is the breaking down or dissolving of rocks on the surface of the earth. So the process of weathering breaks down and removes material from the coastlines. So weathering, where's away? Okay, so may I call on Mr. Samantina to read the statement.
Now, our readers. Once a rock is broken down, the bits of rock and mineral are carried away by a process of erosion. No rocks on earth is hard enough to resist weathering and erosion.
Okay, okay. So that is how rocks are weathered. So let's proceed to another slide. So there are 5 facts about weathering. So number 1, weathering should not be confused with erosion. So erosion describes the moving of rocks via water, wind, or gravity, whereas weathering describes the breaking down of rock through direct contact. Number 2, there are 3 types of weathering: the biological, chemical, and mechanical weathering. And number 3, rain is actually mildly acidic and therefore slowly eats away at rocks. This is an example of chemical weathering. And then number 4, plants and animals also cause rocks to erode. This is an example of biological weathering. Number 5, water can seep into the cracks of rocks as the temperature cools and this water freezes. This causes rocks to break away. So this is mechanical weathering. So the 3 types of weathering. So the first is we are going to discuss what are the weathering agents. So there are various different weathering agents. Weathering agents are the things that contribute to the process of weathering. So number 1 is the changes in temperature. So another example is this one. So the ice, water, animals, and plants is some agents of weathering. So what is mechanical weathering? So may I call on Mr. Natividad to read the statement, please.
Mechanical weathering is also called physical weathering when it is the process rocks to crumble. It is the breaking down of rocks that they are weathered. Caused by rainwater, temperature extremes, and biological process. In mechanical weathering, a rock is broken down without its mechanical position.
So that is mechanical weathering. So to answer the question, what is mechanical weathering in geography, we have to understand the different types of mechanical weathering, including freeze-thaw weathering, salt weathering, and thermal stress weathering. So the main type of mechanical weathering that affects cost is called freeze-thaw weathering. It occurs when rocks have holes, are porous, and are permeable, water can pass through them because water enters the rocks and freezes. So when the water turns to ice, it expands by about 9%, which causes a large amount of pressure in the rock. So this causes the crack in the rock to slowly widen until it splits and it freezes. So weathering repeats, it can cause a rock to break up into small pieces. So this is an example of freeze-thaw weathering. So another example is this one. So another type of mechanical weathering is called salt weathering. It works in a similar way to freeze-thaw weathering. Salt weathering happens when salt spray from the sea enters a crack in a rock. So the water vapor will evaporate, leaving behind salt crystals that grow and expand. When rocks are too hot or too cold, thermal stress weathering occurs. So thermal stress weathering is also an example of mechanical weathering. So rocks expand or contract, get bigger and smaller when they are exposed to very high or very low temperatures. If it is too hot, the rock will expand, and if it's too cold, the rock will contract. So what is biological weathering? So Mr. Lagahib, can you please read the statement?
Biological weathering is the weakening and wearing away the rock by plants, animals, and microbes. For example, plants' roots can enter a small crack in the rock, and then as the root grows larger, the crack in the rock gets larger. This weakens the structure of the rock until it eventually breaks away.
So can humans impact weathering? So yes, humans can impact weathering. So weathering is a natural process, but human can cause the process to speed up as a result of certain human activities. So the main example of this is air pollution. Air pollution can speed up the process of weathering because when we burn fossil fuels, natural gas and coal, it releases chemicals into the atmosphere. These chemicals then change into acids and will fall back down to earth in the rain. So this type of rain is called acid rain. So acid rain has huge impacts on rocks such as limestone and marble. Acid rain has damaged mainly buildings and monuments and can also affect gravestones. So what are weathering, erosion, and deposition? Ms. Gloria, can you please read?
Weathering. Erosion and deposition are processes that have occurred over billions of years to wear down and build up the Earth's surface. All these processes act together in a continual cycle.
Thank you. Let's proceed to another slide. So erosion is the movement of material from broken down rocks. This material is called sediment and is made of rocks, minerals, and plant and animal remains. Erosion agents include water, ice, wind, and gravity. Deposition. So deposition is the dropping of sediment in a new place. Some examples of deposition are the formation of an island or sand dunes. So material is broken down by weathering, then moved by erosion, then deposited in a new place by deposition. So gravity pulls everything towards the Earth's core, causing rock and other materials to move downhill. So some effects of weathering, erosion, and deposition are changes in the shape and size of landforms and the formation of different landforms. These include mountains, beaches, and riverbeds. So let's proceed to another topic. I know it is the population. So class, what is this? So can you notice? This is an example of what? So okay, this is an example of chemical weathering. So carbonic acid rain dissolves rock. So this can form caves and cause sinkholes. So as you notice, kung makikita mo ka ng mga bato diya sa gawas, ganun yung mga nangyari. So that is because of the acid rain. Like that. So the breakdown of rock through chemical processes like acid rain. So this also is an example of chemical weathering. So frost wedging. So this is an example of mechanical weathering. So this photo that you can see in front represent rock. So this one is represent the rock, okay? So as you notice, the rock has a small crack and the water filled into it. And then it freezes to ice that causes the rock to break. So muna siya ang itabo. Okay. Then let's proceed to root wedging. So kinsa ka answer kung unsa siyang example? Okay na? Okay. So root wedging is also an example of mechanical weathering. So it's given to crops and take root. So the root grows, forces the crop to get larger. So mo siya mga makikabot, no? Kung ang plant gamay pa, so syempre gamay pa siya og roots. And then, kung dako na sa ang plant, and then kung ang root, of course. And then, ang katukod ang iyang kuan, ang kanakong bato, na iyang ginakuanan, mag-crop po na siya because of the roots. So, proceed to another one. So this one, kisay ka answer kung sa isang example. So di pa natin tulo ka types of weathering, which is the chemical weathering, biological weathering, and mechanical weathering. So this one, kisay ka answer. Kung ba siya mechanical weathering, chemical, or biological?
Biological.
Okay, very good, Mr. Tagay. So this is an example of biological weathering. So, rocks are broken down by living things or decomposed, broken by lichens or lichens and tree roots. So this one is also an example of biological weathering. So as you can see, medyo palihan lang sila atong sa example sa mechanical weathering. So what is the difference between weathering and soil erosion? Class, yun sino naka-answer, yun sino nakabalo. So, okay. So this is, so weathering causes the rocks to break down, diba? And then, while erosion is this one. Erosion, or water, and transport moves the sediments downhill to another place. So see the difference. So ang weathering is maulang siya ang magbungkag. And then, but only erosion is only siya ang mag-move sa another place. So erosion. Erosion refers to the displacement of solids such as water, wind, and ice. And then weathering refers to the decomposition of soils and their minerals and rocks through direct contact with the Earth's atmosphere. So, before we end our class discussion for today, I am going to check your attendance. Say present if your name is called. Mr. Samuntina. Okay, present. Mr. Lagakit.
Present.
Mr. Natividad.
Present.
Miss Kidoria.
Present.
Okay, there's no absent for today's class. So class, see you next meeting. Dismiss.